Right, everyone get settled in. Grab your preferred beverage. Water's fine, I don't judge. Because we're about to dive headfirst into a world of athletic prowess, international intrigue, and enough obscure trivia to make a pub quiz champion weep. That's right, my friends, today we're tackling the Olympics. Now, I know what you're thinking, John, the Olympics, really? That's like choosing plain toast over a five-tier cake sculpted to look like a dragon. It's just so expected. But hold your horses, because trust me when I say there's more to this global sporting event than meets the eye. We're talking ancient rituals, political standoffs disguised as sporting events, and triumphs so inspiring they'd make a statue cry tears of molten bronze. So buckle up, buttercups, because things are about to get surprisingly interesting. Let's rewind the clock a good few centuries, shall we? Back to 776 BC, ancient Greece, where the Olympics were less about corporate sponsorships and more about, well, not being conquered by your neighbouring city-state. We're talking loincloths, folks, not lycra. These early games were a religious and cultural festival honouring Zeus, the big man upstairs, or, up on Mount Olympus. They were also a chance for the various Greek city-states to put aside their differences and engage in some good old-fashioned competition. Emphasis on the old-fashioned. Now imagine this. Thousands of people gathered in an ancient stadium, the air thick with anticipation and the faint scent of olive oil, probably. Before the games could begin, athletes, judges, even the spectators raised their hands to the heavens and swore a solemn oath. This wasn't just your average pinky swear to play fair, mind you. This was a binding promise to respect the rules, honor the gods, and basically keep things from devolving into a scene from 300, but with more discus throwing. It was a big deal, people. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Remember those warring Greek city-states I mentioned earlier? Well, during the Olympics, they actually agreed to a ceasefire. That's right, they hit the pause button on all the bloodshed and chariot racing-related carnage. This Olympic truce, as it was known, was a sacred period where athletes, spectators, and even your average sheep herder could travel to Olympia without fear of being turned into a human pincushion. It was a testament to the power of sport to unite even the most bitter of rivals, at least temporarily. All right, time for a bit of a reality check. As progressive as the ancient Greeks were in some respects, let's just say they weren't exactly handing out this girl can medals. Women competing in the Olympics, don't be ridiculous. That's right, my friends. For centuries, the games were a strictly male-only affair. Women weren't even allowed to attend as spectators, which, frankly, sounds like a blessing in disguise if you ask me. Imagine the lines for the toilets. Still, it's a glaring reminder that even the most celebrated historical events weren't immune to a healthy dose of good old-fashioned sexism. Fast forward a few centuries past the fall of empires, the Renaissance, and that whole unfortunate incident with the Black Plague, and what do we find? The Olympics back and more extra than a Liberace stage show. Thanks to a Frenchman named Pierre de Coubertin, try saying that 5 times fast after a glass of ouzo, the first modern Olympic Games were held in Athens in 1896. It was a grand affair, full of pomp, circumstance, and a whole lot of handlebar moustaches. The modern Games were born, ready to captivate the world all over again. Now imagine you're an athlete traveling to a foreign country to compete against the best in the world. You're nervous, you're excited, and you're probably jet-lagged out of your mind. Where do you go? A hotel, a hostel, a yurt strategically placed near the archery range? Well, if you're lucky enough to be competing in the 1932 Los Angeles Olympics, you're headed to the first ever Olympic Village. This groundbreaking concept provided athletes with a place to stay, train, and presumably swap stories about their least favorite airport security experiences. It was a melting pot of cultures, languages, and probably a fair amount of lost-in-translation moments. Chapter 7. The Olympic Flag. 5 rings to rule them all. Ah, the Olympic flag. 5 interlocking rings, each representing a different continent, all united in a symbol of global harmony and athletic achievement. It's enough to make even the most cynical cynic, me, feel a flicker of hope for humanity. But did you know this iconic banner wasn't always around? Nope. It wasn't until the 1920 Antwerp Olympics that this colourful symbol made its grand debut. Designed by the aforementioned Pierre de Coubertin, still a mouthful. the flag quickly became a global emblem of the Games, instantly recognizable from Rio to Reykjavik. Chapter 8. Lighting the Olympic cauldron, a flame that never dies, except, when it's extinguished at the end. Picture this, the opening ceremony of the Olympic Games. A hush falls over the crowd and a lone runner enters the stadium carrying a torch held high. As they reach a towering cauldron, the flame is transferred, igniting a blaze that will burn throughout the Games. It's a moment of pure magic, but surprisingly it wasn't part of the original Olympic tradition. Nope, this fiery spectacle didn't make its debut until the 1936 Berlin Olympics. While the Nazis may not have invented everything good, in fact they were quite bad at that, they certainly knew how to put on a show. Chapter 9. From underdog, victories to jaw-dropping feats, the moments that made history. The Olympics, a global stage where records are broken, dreams are realized, and every so often a moment occurs that transcends sport and becomes the stuff of legend. These are the stories that send chills down your spine, the kind that make you want to stand up and cheer even if you're watching a grainy YouTube clip on your phone. From underdog victories that defy all odds to jaw-dropping feats of athleticism that redefine what's humanly possible, the Olympics have given us a treasure trove of unforgettable moments. So grab your tissues and your celebratory snacks, because we're about to relive some of the most awe-inspiring moments in Olympic history. Chapter 10. The 1936 Berlin Olympics, a Games overshadowed by the shadow of Nazi Germany. A regime determined to use the event as a propaganda tool to showcase their hateful ideology. Enter Jesse Owens, an African-American athlete from the United States, ready to run straight into the history books. Owens didn't just win gold, he dominated, shattering world records and claiming victory in the 100 meters, 200 meters, 4x100 meter relay and long jump. His triumphs were a resounding rebuke to the Nazis' claims of Aryan supremacy, a powerful testament to the power of perseverance, talent, and a really good pair of running shoes. Chapter 11. The 1968 Mexico City Olympics, a Games marked by social and political unrest, a backdrop of change and uncertainty. But amidst the turmoil, a moment of pure athletic brilliance unfolded on the track, courtesy of American long jumper Bob Beamon. Beamon's leap wasn't just a jump, it was a defiance of gravity, a leap so extraordinary that it shattered the existing world record by an almost unbelievable margin. His record stood for an astounding 23 years, a testament to the power of human potential and the fact that sometimes even the laws of physics take a break to watch in awe. Chapter 12. The 1996 Atlanta Olympics, the world watched as the US women's gymnastics team, dubbed the Magnificent Seven, captivated audiences with their skill, grace, and a whole lot of glitter. But it was Kerri Strug's final vault that became the stuff of Olympic legend. Nursing a severely injured ankle, Strug could have easily bowed out, protecting her future career. Instead, she chose to compete, nailing a near-perfect vault that secured the gold medal for her team. It was a gutsy performance, a testament to the power of teamwork, determination, and a healthy dose of pain medication. The Olympics are more than just a sporting event. They're a tapestry woven from traditions, rituals, and symbols that transcend borders and languages. From the passing of the torch to the parade of nations, each element tells a story, connecting us to the Games' ancient origins and their enduring legacy. These traditions remind us that while competition may be at the heart of the Olympics, it's the spirit of unity, sportsmanship, and global camaraderie that truly makes them special. So let's take a moment to appreciate the little things, the details that transform a series of sporting events into a global celebration of human achievement. Imagine this, you're standing in a packed stadium surrounded by thousands of people from all walks of life. The Olympic flag is raised and a hush falls over the crowd as the first notes of a familiar melody fill the air. It's the Olympic anthem, a song that's become synonymous with the Games, a musical symbol of international unity. Composed in 1896 by Greek composer Spyridon Samaras, try saying that 5 times fast after a plate of moussaka, the Olympic hymn has been a fixture at every Games since 1960. It's a rousing tune, full of pomp and circumstance, the kind of music that makes you want to stand a little bit taller and maybe wave a flag, regardless of your nationality. Ah, the Olympic medals. Gold, silver and bronze discs coveted by athletes worldwide, symbols of years of dedication, sacrifice and probably a few too many ice baths. But have you ever stopped to consider the history behind these shiny trinkets? The tradition of awarding medals dates back to the ancient games, although back then victors received olive wreaths, not precious metals. It wasn't until the 1896 Athens Games that the modern medal system was introduced. And let's be real, while those olive wreaths were probably quite stylish, I think we can all agree that a solid gold medal has a certain je ne sais quoi. All good things must come to an end, even the Olympics. And what better way to bid farewell to this global spectacle than with a dazzling closing ceremony? It's a time for reflection, celebration, and maybe a few tears as the Olympic flame is extinguished, signaling the end of the Games. Introduced at the 1952 Helsinki Olympics, the closing ceremony mirrors the opening ceremony's grandeur with performances, speeches, and a whole lot of flag waving. It's a bittersweet moment, a reminder that the spirit of the Olympics may burn bright, but even the most epic of parties can't last forever. So there you have it, folks, a whirlwind tour through the wacky, inspiring, and occasionally baffling history of the Olympic Games. From ancient rituals to modern marvels, we've covered it all, the triumphs, the controversies, and the moments that left us speechless or, typing furiously in all caps. But the story doesn't end here. The Olympics are more than just a series of events. They're a living, breathing testament to the power of human potential, a global stage where the world comes together to celebrate the very best of humanity. So the next time you witness an awe-inspiring feat of athleticism, a display of sportsmanship that melts your cynical heart, or even just a really impressive synchronized swimming routine, remember this: you're witnessing history in the making. And that, my friends, is something truly special. These are just a few of the many fascinating facts and traditions that make up the rich history of the Olympic Games. Stay tuned for more intriguing stories from the world of sports.